Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Yahoo Finance Live. This hump day, April 27th, will the Nasdaq bounce back from its worst day since September 2020. We're keeping an eye on tech stocks as Meta set to report earnings shortly. Plus, Ford electrified America's best-selling truck for more than 40 years on Tuesday. Can lightning strike for a second time in 2 days when they release earnings after the bell? We'll look under the hood. And stellar ACT and SAT scores no longer assure acceptance into a top school, so could a GAP be the answer? Why an increasing number of Americans are taking a gap year ahead of college. I'm Dave Briggs, along with Brad Smith and Rochelle Akufo.
That's right. We're just an hour away from the closing bell, so let's check in on how the major indices are faring at the moment. All green across the board there. The Dow up just over about almost 2/3% there at 189 points. The S&P 500 up more than 0.5% there, up 22 points. And the Nasdaq up 1/3% there, up 40 points today. So let's take a deeper dive into what's happening across the board with our very own Jared Blikre at The Interactive. Jared, what's going on?
Well, we're off the highs right now. Here's the S&P 500. All the majors were up over 1% just about 30 minutes ago, but you can see a little decline right there. Nothing too big in the big picture, but I'm going to show our year-to-date candlestick chart, and you can see we are just hanging out by the lows, which coincide with these lows over here. So no break just to test so far, but we have to see what the next direction is. A little bit concerned by the elevated volatility. We got the VIX, the fear index, holding above 30. This is still year-to-date. You can see haven't gotten the spikes as big as we did earlier in the year, but nevertheless pretty elevated. Taking a look at bond volatility, that's still elevated as well, but we haven't really broken to the upside much, and a mixed picture in the bond market. We have the 10-year T-note yield down just a fraction of a basis point. The 10-year T-note, that was a 5-year. The 10-year is up about 3 basis points, and the 30-year, that is up 3 basis points as well. But what I'm looking at, too, is the U.S. dollar index. That is at multi-year highs. And in fact, you take a 20-year look at the Dixie, as they call it. Wow, we are testing these highs from right here and could easily take them out. So we're going to want to keep an eye on that. But let's get to some heat maps here. And we got our sector action showing tech. That is up almost 2%. That is in the forefront. We got materials not that far behind it, followed by energy, one of our perennial leaders or laggards, happens to be a leader today. Communication services taking on the chin, down 2%. And guess why? We've been tracking the mega caps all day. We got more earnings after the bell. Facebook is down 5% ahead of its earnings. Microsoft up over 5%. That's after yesterday's earnings. And Alphabet down 3.5%. But one more thing before I go here. Chinese stocks finally bouncing back just a little bit. We've seen this play before. We've seen this movie before. Will it last? Hard to say, but some incremental movement by the Chinese authorities to, I guess, put a floor under their risk markets. We'll have to see what comes of that, guys.
All right, Yahoo Finance's Jared Blikre. Jared, appreciate the time here this afternoon, breaking that down and kicking us off here with that final hour of trade. For a deeper dive on today's market action, let's bring in Jeremy Schwartz, who is the Wisdom Tree Global Chief Investment Officer. You know, Jeremy, just to kick things off here, because